I have my mentor in my studio.
I wasn't a bad person deep inside. I was a good guy playing a bad boy role. And at some point, I wanted a better life, bro. You know, because I knew there's only a couple of places that you can end up becoming. You can end up dead, shot at, which I've been shot at twice.
Really?
And that's when my heart started turning, and I'm like, do I want to live that life forever? Because the anger I was holding on to, it was a saying that I love. It's sometimes you're drinking the poison hoping someone else dies.
I've seen you, talking from the stage, and that day I had to go, I want to be like him. But bro, man, you're a legend in public speaking. I've witnessed through my eyes. Sales and marketing are one of the essential skills that entrepreneur needs to have before they open the business.
Yep. You can have a dream, but without a plan, it's just a wish. You probably heard that quote before. Just follow your dream. Yeah. Figure out what that dream is, and then just make a plan for that dream.
This podcast is presented by Maven Consulting Group. Reach out to them if you have any education and visa inquiry. Knowledge partner, Rees International College. They offer many courses such as aged care, commercial cookery, disability, early childhood, and many more. Supported by Capcom Home Loans, Australia's leading home loan specialist. Magic Momo Cafe, a perfect destination in Melbourne for an authentic Nepalese and Newari cuisines. Yatra The Connection, अस्ट्रेलियामा नेपालीहरूको लागि सबैभन्दा भरपर्दो travel company. Manny Films, your photography and videography partner to capture your perfect moment. 25 Hours, the marketing boost you need for your business. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Maven Podcast. Today I'm super excited. The reason I say this is because I have my mentor in my studio. It's been a while. I've been wanting him to come to my studio to talk about entrepreneurship, public speaking, network marketing, and so. So guys, without any further delay, let's welcome the charismatic entrepreneur, the business coach, and the father of 6, Mr. Sinan.
Thank you, brother. You're too kind, man. Honestly, I was just messaging my wife before, and I'm like, this guy, he's a successful businessman now. I've been watching your whole journey, and you're humble, which is, it's just an amazing thing to be as you grow in success. So well done to everything that you've achieved. I was just going through your building now, and I met a lot of your workers, and you've done such a great job, bro.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Sinan. And honestly, I still remember, the first time in our previous network marketing company, I've seen you, talking from the stage, and that day I had to go, I want to be like him. So bro, you're inspirations to many of us. I'm pretty sure to my fellow mates as well. So thank you so much for whatever you do, bro.
Oh, bro, it's an honor. It's a pleasure. Same breakthrough story with me. I saw other people and I was like, whoa, if I can communicate like that, then it's going to change my life and other people's lives. So as long as we can keep that trickle going, that momentum going, that's great.
So bro, anyways, I'm very excited to have a conversation with you. And it's been a while after we met, right?
It has.
So bro, the first thing I want to touch base would be your entrepreneurship journey. I know some bits and pieces about you, how it started and stuff like that, but just in case if you can educate our audience, how did you got into business and from business into business coaching? If you can share your journey, that'd be great.
Yeah, so with business, I've always been in business somehow. Either just watching on the sidelines with my family, because I come from a family of tradespeople in Jordan. They run the food trade, hummus, full rice, a lot of the things that you'll get in Middle Eastern shops. They have it there, and I watched their hustle. And one of my uncles, especially, his name's Maher. He was a hustler, but he was like a classy hustler. He'll negotiate and just throw money on the table and walk away. Wouldn't even let you finalize the negotiation, but it's what they do overseas. It's a part of the standard. But just the way seeing him deal, hustle, posture. He was an absolute boss. And then my dad had that as well, importing, exporting. My dad's an educated man. He's got his PhD in engineering, civil engineering. And but he was also a businessman. So as he was studying, he was buying things from Dubai, buying things from Jordan, and reselling them here at festivals. So I'd see the cash coming in, and we weren't rich, but we always had a way to keep ourselves going because of the way he'll buy and sell, and just 1 month of work, 2 months of work will sustain us through the rest of the year, and then we're broke again. You know what I mean? But just I guess subconsciously watching that gives you certain skill sets and beliefs. And even, for example, he got me to record. He used to run lectures, and he used to be a leader in our religious community, and he'll bring crowds from when he first got involved. It was 10, 20 people in a room. He got that to about 1, 2, 3,000 people in auditoriums. Remember when we used to get auditoriums? It used to be packed like that. So, and we'd be selling stuff outside when people come out, we'd sell things. So you'd sell videotapes from the previous lecture on that table stand. So I would have been one of the people that recorded those videos to sell. And he got me to start doing that and making $1 per VCR tape. You remember VCR? So we have like a stack of 10. I'll press record. I'll make $1 for each one. So I learned how to make a bit of money when I was younger. And then I started buying and selling phones, buying and selling cars. My first car was at 12. We went and, next to my house in Altona North, we saw a car. It was a Datsun 120Y. And we saw it, we knocked on the door, and we're like, hey, is this for sale? It's been sitting here for a while, bought it for $50. So, you know what I mean? Like, I found a way to hustle. And eventually I got involved in sales with another friend that owned a business. And it was commission only. And bro, when I say, it was like a door-to-door knocking.
Yeah.
And when I say, even if I thought I was confident, like, it was scary. It was really scary to actually see it happen. And they'll say, okay, it's your turn now. I'm like, I'll freeze a little bit, you know what I mean? And then they'll jump out and execute the pitch and try to sell. And I'm like, and I'm just reading, but I'm scared. But I'm reading. Within a couple of weeks, I tried a couple of times. I was in training in the beginning. And then I started selling. And I'm like, I'll get a cut. Okay. The more you sell, the more cut you make. So I started making some decent money. And my issue was I was actually, I don't know how far you want to get into this, but I was actually on drugs around that time. On and off. But,
At what age was it?
Well, my father left when I was about 13, 14. He ended up working overseas, and there was a divorce in the family, and I ended up having no father figure, and I was really angry. And I ended up taking my anger out on the streets, and I ended up getting involved in gangs and on drugs. But I still had ambition. I still had a drive. And so the sales, so that was about 14, 15 was marijuana. It got into more. I'm not sure how much depth you want to get into that. You can mention that later.
You can mention as well if you want.
You want me to? Okay. Yeah. So might add to the story. So about 15, 16, got into speed. And I'm not condoning any of this. This was one of the darkest phases of my life. In the beginning, it could feel fun and exciting, and you're around friends, and you feel cool or whatever it may be. But I ended up getting into ice. And that's when, a big downfall started to begin. It's exciting in the beginning. You feel a high and all that sort of stuff. But I tried to manage my sales role while I was doing that in the background. Okay. Living that type of life, and it wasn't as aggressive, that type of life in the beginning. But it started becoming a bit more of an addiction. And when it became more of an addiction, funny, because I started my own sales business at that time. So now I'm 17, 16, 17.
Okay.
And I had to hire a friend that was full licensed so I can actually drive on my learners. While I, rented a vehicle, a van from a rental place under my friend's name, right? And here I am.
What you guys were selling that time?
We were just selling, door-to-door products and things like that, and so that went from, it was actually not a successful gig. It was successful enough for me not to go broke completely. So I'll make money and then I'll spend it in the bad ways that I just mentioned, drugs, narcotics. And eventually my brother got involved with me. And my brother saw that I'd kind of started something. And what I did, I negotiated deals with people, and I got products cheap. And I used to be an importer from Alibaba, very young, 15, 16. I was importing things and selling them. And then I learned how to sell in bulk because some people wanted to sell. So that's kind of like my mini network marketing before getting into network marketing story. I'll have other people, I'll buy in 10, 20, I'll buy in hundreds and then I'll sell 10, 20 of this certain product. And then they'll sell it and they'll come back for more. And I've got this going here, this going here.
So you got distributors already.
Yeah, I had distributors as well. And so I was entrepreneurial, but I was a mess here and with drugs and you know, getting involved in gang life and, you know, yeah, it was, you know, I've got 150 charges to my name as you know, I saw written down as well. And that came from just being so angry, bro. Being lost, not having clear direction, because you've got a father figure and he's your hero, and then he's not there anymore. And there's no one to talk to. And my older brothers wouldn't listen properly. They, you know, sometimes you have a certain communication style. My brothers didn't have this certain communication style that fits into mine at that time. You with me? One of my brothers would yell at me. What are you doing, man? Da, 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 da. 4 years older than me. And the yelling route didn't work with me, bro, because, you know, we've got a bit of an alpha in us, you know what I mean? Yeah. And someone yells at you, it's like, I'm going to do more of that thing. You know? So, you know, a lot of charges came to my name. Some of them were self-defense, by the way. A few of those were actually self-defense, but you know, when you win, or you defend yourself, you still get in trouble. The things that we didn't get caught for. They were, you know, it's funny, but it's what happened in the journey. And my sales journey ended up getting better when my brother got involved, and we ended up importing, and we started mass importing. So we got warehouses, we started building a lot of product and manufacturing our own products, and then we ended up reselling and wholesaling to other people as well. But again, there was a drug problem there. My drug problem didn't change until network marketing.
Oh, okay. And that's where I saw you, like, you know, okay. So before that, it was that. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. No problem. And now, I think if you can share your network marketing journey, I think most of my networks, I'm pretty sure they know Sinan as a network marketer. And after that, the evolution that we have seen, bro, we're a big fan of you, honestly, even when you're doing a network marketing. You know, the way that you bring your energy and stuff like that. I was watching your videos about, you know, people doubted on me and stuff like that. In the international convention. Yeah. But, bro, if you can just share a little bit of your journey about network marketing. And I think most of the people do not know, Sinan, what's the reason you left that company because you were so attached to that. Yep. And after that, what happened in your life? And you got into business coaching. If you can share that, that'd be great.
Yeah. So with network marketing, funny story, I actually didn't like network marketing in the beginning because my oldest brother, he's 5 years older than me, this one, he used to jump from one company to another too often. And you know how we're both committed type of people. I had the wrong commitments, but I was younger. You know, we're committed type of people. So when we see someone that's jumping from one thing to another and we don't see full sellout, full, you know, commitment to one thing, it's not as attractive. You know, we're not going to listen as much. So once it's a product that does this, one is a product that's going to make you fly, one's for your skin, one's for your health. And so it's the best, but then you're in something else a month later, that's not the best anymore. So I never took it seriously. And it wasn't until one company he got involved in that he stayed in it for a lot longer. And there was leaders in the community that were involved as well. And I ended up going to some meetings and some things, and I went to a couple of events, smaller ones. But there was a nice feeling whenever I went to those little events. Like, it sounds all right, but it's still, you know, this thing and triangle and pyramid, all that language. Not knowing is one of the best marketing strategies in the world. I still believe it. I'm not involved in it at the moment, but man, what a phenomenal genius model. And I only found that out once there was a powerful communicator that I met. Okay. And I went to an event. It was in Ormond, so on the southeast of Melbourne. And there was one, I mean, they pushed me to go. And I'm telling you, African-American trainer.
Did you want to mention that
Byron
name?
Nelson.
Byron
Nelson. Yeah, he was...
you can give a shout out if you want to.
Yeah, Byron. He changed my life because of just the way he dug into your mind, your heart. He knew how to stir your emotions. And I'm sitting there, I'm like this guy who guards up in the beginning. I'm like, got pushed to come here, you know. Yeah. My brother was trying to just push me. I think they were trying to help me as well. to get away from bad stuff. And my mind was blown. He just had this communication, articulate way to explain concepts in a funny way, a captivating way, charismatic way, friendly way, crazy way, loud, all these things. And I'm like, I left that day and I thought to myself, I want to do whatever he does. Whatever the heck that was, I can't even explain what that was yet, but I want to do that. And it turned out it was just excellent communication skills. Excellent. You with me?
Yeah.
And by the way, I was still a little bit skeptical afterwards. I'm going to do it. But, you know, I feel like he was trying to sell you out to one thing. And I'm trying to find something. I'm like, he said, nothing else matters but that company. I'm like, I still feel like it's kind of a bit of a cult. And I was still trying to find something. But eventually, I ended up surrendering. And the reason why I did that, I read a book. And the book was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was my first book as well.
Yeah, it was a lot of people's first book. It was my first book as well. Mind you, I read that. I read like 75% of it, not all of it. I was high. I was on ice. And I read it all in one go. 75. I never finished the book. I read 75%, but something was planted in me that day. And then again, a couple of months later, I read another book because I went to another leadership event that was run by it was a very private club. Because of my dad's connections, I was able to get into this place. And he was like a mega guy from Kuwait, very high level leadership guy. And there was only a handful of people. Me and my brother went, and he was just talking about leadership. And I was like, you know, because I looked up to the guy as well. I ended up buying the books that he suggested, and I bought this range of books. And I read only one of them. It was called The Whack on the Side of the Head. And it was saying, if you want to change your life, you have to do something different. You can't go home the same route every single time because it becomes programming.
Exactly.
When you're too into routine, it could be the wrong routine. I mean, some routines are really good. Otherwise, if you don't have systems, you're screwed. But I was in a routine of destruction at the time. So I realized when I was trying to get away from drugs and get away from the crime life, because like if we go back later and we talk about how things are now for some of my friends. Some of my friends are locked up for life. I wouldn't say life. I mean, 25 years, one of them.
Oh, shit.
And that was my best friend, by the way. Machine guns, explosives caught on him, all these insane things. And I'm like, if I stayed, where would I have been? It was just the right time. And I forgave my dad, by the way, when I was about 19, 20. And that's when my heart started turning. And I'm like, do I want to live that life forever? Because the anger I was holding on to, it was a saying that I love. It's sometimes you're drinking the poison hoping someone else dies. But who's getting poisoned?
Yourself.
You're the one that's getting poisoned. So once I forgave my dad, I started questioning, do I want this life? Because there was a lot of dogginess. There was a lot of bad people, bad things. It's bad intentions. And I wasn't a bad person deep inside. I was a good guy playing a bad boy role. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I was pretty good at it, but I was still good-hearted. It was just masked by the anger and the hate I was inside, and I was taking it out on the world, and I was, you know, standing people over and all that sort of stuff. But really, I come from a good family.
Yeah.
And at some point, I wanted a better life, bro. You know, because I knew there's only a couple of places that you can end up becoming. You can end up dead, shot at, which I've been shot at twice.
Really?
Drive by right in my window as well, bullets through my window, all the way through the kitchen cabinet. My mum was home. I ran outside with a knife at the time because I didn't have a gun at the time.
So this was in Australia?
In Australia, in Altona Meadows, where I lived for 10 plus years. There's still shotgun.
I could not imagine you in that version, man.
You know what I mean? There's still shotgun fractures on the brick wall in that property as well. But another time we were shot at in Sunshine. Once I was ran over by a forward drive aggressively, and the tire almost went over my head as well. Another time we can go over that later on. But back to the story of the transformation into network marketing. All that forgiveness and that book, a whack on the side of the head, made me decide to get into the company.
Okay.
That's what that decision was. Okay, I'm screwing everything up, and I'm trying to walk away from bad things, but I'm leaving a void, and that void equals going back into it. You're filling the void back with the
Yeah.
negative things. So I got involved in network marketing.
Amazing.
Okay, and that
Yeah.
we wouldn't have to mention companies or anything.
Yeah.
But that was the beginning of the transformation.
Amazing. Bro, I don't want you to go deep into your network marketing journey. What I really wanted to know is, what was the reason you left network marketing? Because you were so in love. Man, seriously, when I saw you, like, the way you got involved, the passion you were, like, even I had a passion, but not as strong as yours. But when I heard that you left network marketing, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Sinan left.
Yeah.
So you were kind of like a company's brand ambassador, right?
Yeah.
But if you can just tell me, what was the reason that you stopped believing in network marketing and you moved forward to another career?
Yeah, I still believe in network marketing.
Okay, amazing.
I still believe in network marketing. I grew dramatically in network marketing, so I understand the personal development and the growth and leadership skills, all that stuff is phenomenal there.
Yeah.
The problem was with the company that we were involved in is there was too many changes. Okay. And it doesn't mean the industry is bad. It just means sometimes timing changes for some businesses.
Yeah.
So you got to look at the leadership of companies. Sometimes the leaders are good, but sometimes they get over it, or they try to change things, or they're just past that prime period. And it happens. We're all human. So there's a combination of things. The market changed. The products and services that we were offering used to be more profitable back in the day.
Yeah.
Number two, comp plan kept changing, kept getting cut. You remember that?
Yeah.
Too many times.
Yeah.
Right, and we used to run,
Yeah.
and then get to this position, at one of the highest ranks, and then it gets chopped, and then it gets chopped again, and then now you for this product, it's going to be 20% is going to be chopped off because of this reason, but we're adding this, and then once you look back and you study all the numbers, you're like, it's always going back into the company. Now, my big discovery and kind of my exit out of the industry started when I became a coach. I was headhunted to do coaching for a company. I was a master trainer for a science-based company. It was built by Yale University scientists, Harvard Medical School scientists. So I was like, what the heck, me? You're picking me to be, and so I ended up actually being one of the only trainers training alongside scientists.
Wow.
Everyone else was removed as a master trainer except me and one other person. It was originally 150. And then they realized you have to have a certain standard and a certain training style and a certain knowledge to stay there. And I was like one of the only two. I was like, who the heck am I?
That was amazing, bro. Congrats, man.
Thanks, man. And so I think that was a discovery of my love for coaching. Because remember, we used to do events.
And you loved coaching, bro. You loved training.
That was the thing.
Used to be 2 hours before. You used to say the timeline and stuff. Okay, you're coaching on this. Every tiny minute, the show that you put down for the audience, I can see the love and the passion for your coaching, man.
Yeah.
So
It will transform my life,
Yeah.
bro. And it gives me energy giving that to someone else.
True.
It's not about products. It's not about service. It's about it's internal development.
True.
You can really and obviously there's different types of coaching. But when I got involved in that, we actually we had our biggest financial year. I made a lot of money in that year. And when you make a lot of money, you can have a different judgment on things.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
true.
I realized that, okay, I've literally made 10 times more than I was making at a high ranking position.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And I was confident in a different way. Now, not that the money is going to buy me out of that. No. It's my discovery. I spoke to very senior leaders that left also. They actually reached out to me, and it was just an interesting timing. And they were building a company. They were coming to Australia, and then we ended up getting, I can tell you the names offline, but they really were respected, bro. They were like the pinnacle of respect. So we had a heart-to-heart conversation, and they opened up numbers, they opened up comp plans, they opened up what they're doing with the same services, same products, and they showed me the difference in comp plan. Let's just put it this way. With their comp plan, I would have been making about 20 times more passively. 20 for the same volume. Similar products, I'm like, what the... and I don't understand maybe there's different range of products that add to it. Wouldn't have to go that far, but just seeing that, I was like, what? How would you feel if you...
Man, that... I would be somewhere else, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's people that we widely respect.
Yeah.
and then you start discovering things about the company, and then, you know, I've got a lot of love for the people in the company, so I try to actually you take the very difficult position of taking the information to the founders and saying, look, we need something to change, because now when you hear all that, you start thinking back of, that's why my team hasn't won yet. That's why this person's not financially free yet. That's why it's been too much fake it till you make it. And it broke my heart. Like, I can't tell you how much it broke my heart, bro, at the time.
You were involved for 9 years, bro?
I was married for 9 years, bro. I was.
You had kids?
Bro, I had a couple of
thousands of kids, yeah. The team.
I was a grandpa of the great.
He meant the team in network marketing. That's kids, yeah.
And it was just tough, man. And you know, facing the reality. And then when I presented everything, I was just pushed back with, you guys aren't producing enough.
Oh, okay.
But you know, that's why you guys aren't making the money. But it's not true. We were working really hard.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And you were working hard.
The work ethics that maybe it's even sometimes I feel like, you know, today if I think about my work ethics at that time when I was involved in that company for network marketing, I was like, man, where did I get that work ethics from? And then at that time your work ethics was 5 or 10 times higher than mine. So now imagine.
I work. Look, I still work hard, but it's smarter work.
Yes,
I remember we used to get in the car. We used to travel. We used to do all the. Thank God for Zoom. Be on the phone all the time. All the hours away from my family. I realized towards the end, I ended up putting up a post. I wasn't gonna fully get out, but it wasn't received well.
Exactly.
Put it that way. From their end, that I wanted to actually change the comp plan. Probably a big ask for me, by the way. I get it. You know, every company's got their own numbers, their own metrics, blah, blah, blah. Who am I to change it? But I tried to advocate and say, look, something needs to happen. Once I realized it wasn't going to happen, I took a step back. I put up a post publicly, and I just fully focused on my coaching business. But it's been the best decision of my life. It was a hard decision.
Yes.
It came with loss of relationships, as you can imagine. Things happen, but you got to take your own path sometimes.
Exactly. Thank you, Sinan. And I also wanted to say one thing. When I was talking about work ethics, bro. Man, at that time we were brainwashed. I mean, I wouldn't complain everything was bad or something like that, but at that time the only vision and the mindset we had was you gotta sacrifice to pay the price for success. But now I realize not always.
Yeah.
You know, at that time we were taught, like, you know, sacrifice your birthday, sacrifice your partner's birthday, sacrifice your partner's time. So in future, you will celebrate this.
Yeah.
But it's not always the case.
Yeah.
But these days, I think we both realize that there's a smarter way too.
Yeah.
You don't really have to sacrifice all the important milestones. What for? Right? So I think that's what we realize. And I'm really, really happy right now how we have overcome the mindset too.
Yeah.
Now, anyways, bro, going back to your coaching business, I'm very excited, bro. Tell me something about your coaching business, please.
So with the coaching model, we decided to. So I've ran multiple niches. I've been involved in, as I said, a master trainer for the science-based program. Then I ended up getting involved in my own program, similar to that, just more of a B2C model. Because in the beginning it was B2B. I was certifying people, which meant we're giving them quote unquote licenses to become certified coaches. But I realized certified doesn't mean anything. I'll get back to that later. Certified is okay, but most coaches don't realize they're in the sales and marketing business. They're not actually. Their service is coaching, you know. But you've got to be a good marketer and good salesperson. I ended up getting involved in another program. It was called Influence and Charisma. Okay. Started that. I did live trainings for that. That was a great product. I still have the product. It's just on the back end. We sell it really in the back end. Then I ended up moving towards NeuroPeak programming, a science-based program, my own program, which I still have in the back end. That one's more about high performance. We bounce off 3 things: clarity. Because I was thinking to myself, like, what gets someone to become a super high performer? And after, like, I'm talking insane amounts of thinking and study and researching my own patterns and other people's patterns, I realized there's 3 things: clarity, getting really super clear about your direction, and there's multiple layers to that. And there's productivity, how to be super productive, right? 80-20 rule, many things. And then there's vitality, having super high energy. Okay, so you can maintain those three things, you'll be efficient, because if you have super high energy, that also means, you know, you're going to be peak state all the time. Like, for example, we used
More
to be
actions.
more actions. We used to be taught work 7 days, but that took me backwards. I realized later, it's like the race car that never goes and gets a pit stop.
Yeah.
You're going to end up thinking you're winning the race until you blow your motor, blow your tires, and you're out of the race. You know? Yeah. So it doesn't need to be that type of sacrifice. In fact, going back to your family, working, you know, spending time with your family, re-energizes you, etc.
Rejuvenate and stuff. Yeah.
Rejuvenates, exactly. I ended up getting involved in business coaching. Okay, because I had a lot of experience and we've made over $1 million just in those products there. And then I realized one thing. In my mind, in the beginning, it was easier to build a coaching business until I realized it wasn't. It was easier for me in the beginning because of, you know, influence from the network marketing phase and all that sort of stuff. Did really well in my first year, extremely well. And then things slowed down. When things slowed down, I was like, you feel on top of the world. And then, wait, hold on a second, what's going on here? I realized you can't sell the same person the product twice unless it's a repeatable type of product. I can't certify you twice. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So I realized that the marketing and the sales is actually the hardest part to building a successful coaching business. And because the coaching industry now and the consulting industry is going like this, it was just a perfect time for me to bring my leadership from network marketing, my leadership from all that stuff, teaching B2B activity, sales, marketing, branding, pitching, concept, you know, all that stuff into coaching. So that's what I do. I practice. I'm like the upline.
Okay. Yeah, got it. I got it.
You know
of
what I mean?
Of course, definitely. So that means like now you coach business owners.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And bro, what you need, I mean, like, you know, what sort of areas? Because you know business, like, you know, it got sales, it got accounts, it got finances, it got leadership, it got team building, so many departments, right? But what's your niche, bro? What do you usually train them on mainly?
Yep. Well, I've got three things practically. When people come into our programs, we've got different tiers in our programs, so the depth changes. But the main thing is how to develop and produce an offer with a very unique selling proposition that makes you stand out in the marketplace. Because if you get that right, it's going to be easier to sell and market yourself. If you've got a crap product and it's very vague and everybody else is doing it, then you're competing against a noisy marketplace. So go blue ocean. It's easier to go blue ocean. Now it's just wording, man. You know, it's just wording. And for example, Domino's sells pizza. Yeah. But they niched themselves down and they had a USP of fresh, hot, fast, within 30 minutes delivered. True. They didn't even say tasty. It didn't say the most healthiest. It just said fresh, fast, hot, delivered to your door within 30 minutes, right? So if they can just come up with a unique selling proposition, very powerful. So that's the first thing we focus on. Second thing we focus on is the marketing. Online social media branding, messaging, okay? Posting content. Because if you're not online, I mean, this is going online, right? Yeah, of course. If you're not online these days, we have the most powerful tool in our hands right now, which is our own newspaper. Back in the days, you used to have to advertise and get on the newspaper. Yeah. If you just get good at posting content these days and sharing your message, and you know who the avatar is that you're sharing it to, otherwise who you're speaking to, you got to speak to the right audience. Once you can get your message to the audience and make it really nice, effective, call to action, etc., that's a huge game changer. Okay, marketing is in the middle, and then the last thing is just sales. How to sell it. And we did personality types, strategy calls, sales calls, fulfillment, closing, objections. We've learned this stuff for many years. Yeah. So we give them the whole package, right? We also have a software that runs the whole company as well.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay, so they can upload their programs on there. It's pre-built for coaches and consultants. It's everything that you need, forms, calendars. So instead of them going somewhere else, we have a tech side to it as well.
Amazing. Yeah. Do you have a website or like, you know, the company brand, if you want to mention that too right now so people can check it out?
Yeah, so for the company, for our coaching one, it's fulltimecoach.pro.
Okay, amazing.
And then for the software, it's coachscale360.io.
Okay,
Okay,
amazing.
they can look at that.
All right, guys, just in case if you want to go and check out Sinan's personal coaching services, probably those are the websites you can check it out. Now, bro.
Thanks.
Okay, before I go into business coaching more, I have few general questions for you. I feel sales and marketing are one of the essential skills that entrepreneur needs to have before they open the business.
Yep.
What are your thoughts about this, bro?
100%. 100%.
That's the main skill.
That's the main skill. How are you going to sell the product or service that you've got?
Yeah.
How are you going to learn how to communicate your offer? So sales and marketing is the business. I tell every one of my coaching clients that when they come in, I said, listen, even in my presentations that I'm presenting to them, and they're so excited about the coaching, I say, you do know that you're actually in the sales and marketing business, and your service that you provide is coaching.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sales, marketing, number one.
Yes. And the product comes later.
If you get good at sales and marketing, it doesn't matter it matters what the product is, but if you're good at sales and marketing, you'll know how to create a good product anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll be good everywhere you go. You don't want to be dependent on a product that's really good that sells itself. You want to be the thing that sells anything. Sales marketing first.
Exactly, bro. And I just wanted to recall one quote that I've studied in one of the book. I forgot the name of the book, but what they mentioned is, at the end of the day, you just need to be the best selling.
Yeah.
For example, you don't want to be a best author. You want to be the best selling author.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the best consultant. You want to be the best selling consultant.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you need to know how to sell yourself.
Yeah.
That's what it matters.
Yeah.
And that really kicked me, honestly. And I agree with that as well. I'm pretty sure, bro, you didn't have a sales blood within you, right? You just had an ambitions. Same as me. I never got involved in sales before our first sales activity, let's say. Nowadays, I see a lot of entrepreneurs, bro, they've been in the business for 5 years, 6 years. They still have not accepted that, sales, they need to do sales.
Yeah.
They prefer hiring other amazing salespeople rather than they learning a little bit about sales. Bro, what do you think? What are the suggestions that you wanted to give it to the people who are still, to the entrepreneurs who are ignoring the sales? Did you get me, bro?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think,
What
bro?
I'm thinking right now is how could you be an entrepreneur without sales?
I don't know, bro.
Look,
But
you
some
could
of
be-
them
you
are
could-
like
you could
entrepreneurs.
be okay. You could try to lead us out, but if you're not good, my philosophy now, even with my tech company, I need to know enough before I delegate.
Exactly.
I need to know
exactly.
enough. But the thing that I believe I need to be the best in is sales and marketing, and sales isn't the cheesy car salesman trying to jam you, and that's not sales. Sales is just articulating your message really well to somebody and magnifying them to you, like hitting the right pain points, right? Giving them the desire, increasing the person's desire to want to pay. Because everybody wants to buy.
Yeah.
They don't like to be sold. So if you just do it in a way that's the professional, proper way, like Brian Tracy, for example, listen to any of his books, you'll hear what a true salesperson is. In fact, we appreciate proper salespeople that follow up, proper salespeople that say, like, build a genuine connection. So really, sales is people skills, man. People skills and giving a service that's needed to someone that's either looking for it or doesn't even know that they need it yet, but you've just laid the argument that they actually need it.
100%.
You got to get good at that.
Exactly, 100%. Even like I feel like, the entrepreneurs or the leaders who are not into sales, they will not last long, or they might not hit that, the efficient, the maturity point, the growth will be slowed down.
100%.
Now, anyways, bro, as a business coach, I've got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Bro, team building. How important is that? We've seen that, bro. We've seen that. We've seen the financial freedom thing and stuff like that. It just all happens because of the system and the team, right? So, bro, like, right now, there's a lot of traditional owners, not like, the network marketers and stuff like that. What do you think, bro? Team building is one of the, I feel like it's very, very hard because even like, sometimes I feel a little bit, even though I've learned a lot about team building, I struggle sometimes, bro, to manage team from different departments. Bro, what do you think, like, if you can just give few tips how an entrepreneur can actually scale up and build a team? If you can give few tips, that'd be great, bro, on team building.
So, from my experience, and obviously, we haven't built $1 billion company. There's so many more people that have built massive teams, and they've got CFO, CMO, everything. We just, from our experience from networking and what we do now in our company, you got to hire good people that are self-efficient, self-motivated. They take initiative themselves. They regard integrity. In fact, one of my people that I have, she's very good, but she needed a little bit more time to get developed, and she is developed now. You know why I kept her? Her character. She had an amazing character. In fact, she did some good things behind the scenes for us and our company that she never even said. I had to discover it from one of my other workers. She's like, she did that? She never said she did that? You know what I mean? So I look for character, integrity, but finding people that can actually do the job for you, and even at 80%. Because if we think that it's going to be done at 100% all the time, we're shooting ourselves in the foot, man. It's not going to happen exactly like that. It's just not. You know, we love our business more than anyone else. We're more committed to the business more than anyone else. And sometimes we're good at that thing. But you can't just, for example, setting appointments and all that. I was very good at it, but I couldn't keep doing it. I had to delegate it. So now I've got systems where, I've got people that are appointment setters, they set appointments. And then I was struggling to manage looking at the conversations they were having and the structure of all that. So I had to hire a manager to overlook the conversations and keep accountability and make sure they're tracking metrics and numbers and all that. And then I'll just track the managers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I had to have some sort of hierarchy where it gets condensed into the right information for me. But it allows me to do what my superpower is, which is develop the products, which is the sales. See, that's one of the last things I'll walk away from, the sales.
Yeah.
I hire a team of appointment setters, a coach that can coach the clients. I'd hire all that before I let go of sales, because that's where, if you're the best at closing, and you should be, if you're a business owner, you should be really good at closing.
You gotta bring the money, bro.
You gotta bring the money in.
Exactly.
And just so that's So hiring a team is sometimes you got to trust. I used to be a bit of a control freak, and I'm like, what if they're not going to do it the way I want it, and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's never going to be exactly. And I guess once you grow to a certain point, then you could just hire someone and you pay a lot of money for this person that it treats it like their own business. They get benefits and they run that whole team there, and you just communicate with that person. Depends on size, obviously.
Exactly. Wow, that's amazing, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that. I just wanted to throw a small opinion as well. There's a saying, you can do anything but not everything. So what most of the entrepreneurs, they misjudge that their role would be, they don't want to delegate. They become like, they cannot do 100% duplication like me. They cannot do 100% tax as me. So that's the reason they don't hire anyone. Like, for example, you said about appointment settings or whatever it is. They get afraid because the quality of my tax, the quality of their tax might get ruined. But at the end of the day, I feel, bro, if they can at least do 60% or 70% of the quality of work, I think you need to delegate. And just like you said, get more involved in sales, the high productivity tax of the business, and then, get more revenue coming. So I think this is the lesson of entrepreneurs that everybody has to learn and digest as soon as possible. And that's the only way you can scale up, isn't it, my brother?
100%. I mean, once you see, even if it's 60, 70%, even if it's 50% as good as you, and they're bringing in a certain amount of meetings or appointments or whatever their role is, you'll find out what the metrics are for how much money are you making from that level of appointment setting, for example, the way we look at the metrics. I was talking to my wife and I said, even if people are doing 30% what we're doing, but we've got 10 of them going and doing that.
Exactly.
That you can scale rather than I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and then you burn out. I don't care how good you are, you'll end up burning out at some point,
Yeah.
It's not smart. You got to delegate.
Yeah, bro. Anyways, bro, burnout. When you talk about burnout, bro, have you ever feel burnout, bro?
100%.
When was this?
ACN times. should we cut that part out?
All right, bro. Yeah, let's say network marketing, bro.
Okay, let's go back. Yeah, but that was such a genuine,
it was a genuine conversation.
Yeah.
Bro, late nights, early morning sacrifices. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, bro. Now let's move a little bit forward from business, okay,
Yeah.
bro? I'll take you a little bit away from business because you got a lot of topics to talk about. To be very honest, I really want to learn. I really want to bring a lot of topics out from you because you're good at so many things. Now, another topic I want to talk about from you would be, bro, public speaking.
Yep.
how much you love public speaking, bro.
Yeah, I love it. I enjoy it. I think it's one of the most highest paid skills.
Yes.
It is so necessary to move people into action.
Yeah.
It's if you can get good at stirring emotions, making people feel a thing, whether it's sadness, whether it's motivation and excitement, whatever it is, if you can learn how to use your voice, use your body, use your tonality, use your just the use of and structure of the way you put the words together. If you get good at that, man, if you think of every great person that ever lived, they were good at what?
Public speaking.
They were good at public speaking.
Yeah.
I don't care if they stuttered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There were some leaders right now. Like you look at John Maxwell, and he's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But if you notice the way he speaks, he talks over his words sometimes, and he stutters a little bit. That could even be put on, by the way. Some things are put on, but when you listen, the way he engages and captivates you with stories in between. I just think you can make it to the top of anything if you are really good at speaking.
Exactly. Amazing, bro. And for audience who does not know Sinan, honestly, he got that fire. You see the real Sinan Abu-Aisheh only at the stage, bro. This is not even a 10% of what Sinan is. So his real character comes in stage, but bro, honestly got a big respect again, like I've already mentioned in your introduction too.
Likewise, bro.
Bro, when I saw you in stage for the very first time, I was like, man, just like you mentioned, Byron, man, I was like, I don't care what you were doing, which business you were involved in. I want to speak like that, man. Honestly, I think the best traits you have is, bro, public speaking. I think you were born to do that. And coaching comes later, right? So, bro, you see, like, there's a lot of people, like, they get scared, man, to get scared talking in front of 5-10 people. You have spoken, I've seen that with my naked eyes, in front of 10,000 people, bro. How did you start it, bro? What made you, got into public speaking, bro?
It's funny because I was one of the ones that got scared in front of a few people too, bro.
Really?
100%. My first presentations, I mean, in front of groups of people normally, like when we were just, trouble on the streets, it was different. I'll speak to a bunch of people, it doesn't matter, friends. But when you're getting in front of people and everyone's looking at you and it's a presentation and it's a business model and it was my heart. I used to get pulled up to do testimonials when I was still early-ish in the game, but I was doing okay for a lower level guy. And so they'll pull me up for testimonials, and man, I used to be a lot more jumpy back then. And my now wife, who changed my life, by the way. She maybe we can mention that at some point if you want. But she's really one of the reasons why my life completely transformed. It was someone that actually saw the good in me and brought that out. We can go back to that. So the feeling that I got in front of the room was my heart was like that, and I was like walking up and down really quickly, and my wife would be in the back like, slow down. No joke, because I was like, everyone's looking at me, man. What the heck? So it ended up going from that. My first time presenting an actual home meeting where there was going to be a few people there was I was on the way to a presentation with a lady that helped bring Dolce & Gabbana into Australia. So this was like one of my first big deals, and I'm on my way to this presentation, and my mentor at the time called me and he said he can't make it. Right? Last minute. So I get to this, on the way to the presentation, now I'm on the freeway towards Dandenong side, and I'm like, I can't turn back, like I could actually do this. So I started practicing in my head what I'm going to say, and I get there, and I'm blessed that I watched so many presentations, so I was able to start bringing it out. But she was an urchin. So and a shark, if you understand urchin, shark. Urchin's someone that asks a lot of questions. They like the details. Sharks is people that are like straight to the point as well. They're not scared of just saying, hey, what about this? What about this? How much money is here? So she was asking me all the hard questions, bro. And I'm like, whoa, I got pumped there. So, but facing my fear a couple of times, when you face your fear will disappear. All right. So when you get up on stage in front of 2 people, then 5 people, then 10 people, then 15 people, became a bit more comfortable. And I notice even when you're scared though, you leave the stage feeling a bit pumped. Like it's an energy that you can't really get many other places.
Yeah.
It's probably my new drug.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like it's a rush. So as I started practicing, and honestly, I practice a lot behind the scenes, like tonality, you know, body language, because a lot of the speaking comes from the body. So a lot of practice, and then as I got 50 people, 100 people, and then I started breaking records in the company so I can be one of the leaders, and one of the leaders that's attractive would be on stage. So I'm like fighting to get my place on stage, and I'm on stage now. And then we had to build our own event. And then when I got to a point where I had to lead, bro, a lot of times I led, I wasn't ready to lead. And I was a bit scared to lead. Like someone called me like, are you running your own event? Because they moved to the other side of town, the current event. And I'm like, I don't know. Let me get to this position first. I was running for RVP. And then I'll let you know. And how am I going to run an event? I've never run an event. And then we made it a free event and we pulled that off and all these things. So public speaking was scary. It was, but it's also energetic. A lot of people we used to bring on stage that were not good speakers. They'll come on stage and they're scared to speak, but when they get the mic, they don't put it down.
Exactly.
Because there's like a bit of a rush there. So it comes with excitement as well. But mastery takes time. And mastery takes study. Mastery takes you looking back at your own recordings and saying, I stuffed up there. Don't say that. It's a bit too controversial. You know what I mean? Like studying yourself, and you gotta become a masterpiece. And I'm not there yet. Like I still have a long way to go.
But bro, no, you're a legend, man. I'm
Not
telling
yet.
you, I know you got imposter syndrome. You're not accepting that. But bro, man, you're a legend in public speaking. I've witnessed through my eyes. Sometimes people say me like, Vicky, you're such a good speaker. I'm like, bro, whatever you're seeing me, I've got inspired from that person, and that's you, bro.
Oh, thank
Honestly,
you, bro.
man. Seriously. And I know you're still growing, evolving, but you're already there. But you're trying to make it to the 1%. So all the
Thank
best
you, bro.
for that.
Appreciate it. And honestly, bro, you're a very good speaker as well. And you're always, every time I saw you on stage, you were always dressed like, you know what's funny? You still dress the same. and that says something. You've got to impersonate the successful person that you want to become before you even get to that point. And you're at that point now.
Thank you. So
and
much.
I was asking you recently, what do you do? He's like, you've leveraged, like you've got your company running now, which shows good leadership. And you've stepped back and you're doing what you love. You're doing podcasting now. You're growing your brand. You're serving people. And I know, because we just spoke in your office, that you're doing this out of good intention.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So good on you, man. And your speaking is fabulous as well. And I see you running all these crowds. And I'm like, what the heck is running like semi-concerts now? What are you doing, bro?
I've started hosting a few concerts as well, bro. And it all happened just because, what you taught us, about public speaking, how we used to, run presentations and stuff like that. Now all the big events in Nepalese communities, who's the host? Mr. Vicky Shrestha. It all started from there, right?
Good on you, man.
So, bro, thank you, bro. You inspired that version of myself.
Oh, bro,
So
it's an honor to know that, It's what we do. Like, if someone can get inspired by you, how do you feel? We all feel good. And I'm sure you've inspired a lot of people. Whenever I hear that, Jim Rohn says it. He says, I don't care what happens from my experience with you. It's as long as I get to a point where I can impact your life so much that even my name is mentioned at some point to be one of the people that impacted you. Not out of ego reasons, but just to know that you had a part in someone's story. How good is that?
That is amazing, bro. Thank you so much for the tips. I'm pretty sure our audience will learn valuable tips for the public speaking from you. Bro, last question. What do you usually do when people or audience feels disengaged?
What do I feel?
Yeah. Or what do you do? What's your
I'm
hacks?
a little bit crazy. Yeah. I learned this from Byron, actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't let them be disengaged.
That's the number one. But
I don't let them. Meaning, if I see the crowd is falling asleep, I was like, you guys awake or you guys asleep? Like, I'll actually say what I won't be just overly professional and getting nervous and like they're not listening. I goes, hey, who's awake? Everybody put that. You guys awake? Hey, don't fall asleep on me. So just like being a bit random and even weird sometimes, you know. You probably witnessed me being weird.
I've seen you.
I've said things on stage. I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, and I'll say that too. I'll say that. I'm like, oh, I probably should have said that. But anyway, and everyone will start laughing.
But we love that part of Sinan. because you were talking from the heart.
Yeah.
We didn't want the scripted part or
Yeah.
the strategies, techniques, and stuff. But you talk from the heart, bro.
Yeah, and I think you said it. I think if you're too scripted, the crowd will sleep.
Yeah.
If you're yourself, and you're a little bit loud sometimes. I know some people have different personality.
Yeah.
But you gotta be authentic.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Bro, thank you so much.
Bro,
Are you having fun, bro?
pleasure. Oh, so much, bro.
Shall we take a quick break,
Yeah,
bro?
let's do it.
All right, guys, we'll catch you up after a very short commercial break. Thank you.
Awesome.
This podcast is presented by Maven Consulting Group. Reach out to them if you have any education and visa inquiry. Knowledge partner, Rees International College. They offer many courses such as aged care, commercial cookery, disability, early childhood, and many more. Supported by Capcom Home Loans, Australia's leading home loan specialist. Magic Momo Cafe, a perfect destination in Melbourne for an authentic Nepalese and Newari cuisines. Yatra The Connection, अस्ट्रेलियामा नेपालीहरूको लागि सबैभन्दा भरपर्दो travel company. Manny Films, your photography and videography partner to capture your perfect moment. 25 Hours, the marketing boost you need for your business. All right, bro. Anyways, it was a lovely conversation in our very first half. On the same side, I'm expecting the same. Now we've covered entrepreneurship, business coaching. We've covered our public speaking as well. Now, another interested areas that I'm very interested to hear from you would be personal branding, bro. I love the way you have given people the perspective about your identity to the people. Whenever we think about Sinan Abu-Aisheh, it's like, oh, he's the man, right? So, bro, can you tell us something about, like, what is personal branding? I think there's a lot of people who's watching this video, they might not even know the personal branding exists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you can just educate a little bit, what is personal branding and why it is really important, even for the people who are working right now in different areas, or even people who are entrepreneurs, or whatever areas they are involved in. So if you can just educate us, that'd be great, bro.
Well, firstly, your personal branding is great. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
I was looking at some of your pictures and profiles and the things that you say. I can see that people even are engaging with it, which is great. And you got some followers, which is awesome. From my regard, one good little phrase that might help the audience is branding is perception, right? And a lot of times you can play with the perception online, right? So how do I mean? It doesn't mean you fake it till you make it, but the way you present yourself, your ideas, your pictures, you do a reel or a live video, whatever it may be. The message, if you have a certain model that you want to become, all you got to do is just figure out the messaging that you're gonna spit out online, right? And we've been doing it since network marketing days. Yeah. It's just live videos or just posts and constant engagement. It's actually content. It's mainly content these days, and even like in a traditional world, you become a brand by the things that you've done. If you are a quitter and you quit everything, you're branding yourself as someone that just is not a committed person. If you've stolen from people and you lack integrity, that's also personal branding as well. But on a social media scale, I think that starting engaging content is somewhere to start for sure, and it helps with your business. It helps with people getting. Like, for me, for example, a lot of people I speak to online, when I take it into messages or calls or sales calls, my branding's already done the work. So they get on and they already take me seriously. And even though I've pivoted a few times, I went from network marketing then to coaching, then I did network marketing again, and then back to coaching. Every time, just by the words and the posture of the words and all that sort of stuff, like I presented that I knew what I was talking about. And I genuinely am a student. I want to know what I'm talking about. So I study the industry or whatever it may be. But you just got to be online. You got to present content that's engaging. Once you can do that, within a few months, you'll brand yourself online. And that's why people pay for PR, public relations. Why? Because it's branding. But what's Forbes doing? Just giving you credibility. You could be your own Forbes for now, until you get to a point where you build your business big enough that you feel it's integral to go on Forbes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people just aren't branding. They're branding themselves in the wrong way, if anything.
Yeah.
drunken stories online, or not taking themselves seriously. You got to brand yourself
Amazing,
properly.
bro. Thank you so much for your insights, bro. Bro, your personal branding is great. Like, as I've already mentioned to you. Bro, at what point did you started to take your personal branding seriously? First, Sinan Abu-Aisheh. Like, probably you might be thinking, oh, I might not wear this. Oh, I might not say this on Facebook. Oh, it hampers my personal branding. So since what age, bro? Do you want to recall that
23,
moment?
24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It really started with my networking journey, because we want to attract people to our lifestyle. We want to attract people to our way of thinking. We want to recruit people. We want to bring people onto the mission with us.
Yeah.
And then I realized that actually works for everything. It's any business model, even if
Yeah.
it's like a car washing business. You just put up good content for car washing, and you get testimonials, or you present your quality service, and you add a face to that business, and all of a sudden people love that business more.
Yeah.
23, 24, and
Okay,
it just
amazing.
got more serious as I went on.
Wow. So currently, what are the routines you follow for your personal branding, bro? Offline, online as well.
Online is my biggest thing now.
Amazing.
Offline, I do a lot of my work online. A lot of my consultancy, a lot of the group the coaching programs online. Even now, we're updating the studio at home, so we can do a lot of online events next year. As a Feb, we're going to be doing. I've got banners coming in the background. I've got a lot of things that are even the things that you press buttons on and they bring out music, walkout music, and all that. We're doing that. Online is a big thing.
Workout music as well.
Walkout music, yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh
bro.
yeah, we're doing all that. I got the Stream Deck thingy. It's pretty cool. But yes, so I have four pillars to the content. It's character,
Okay.
content that brings out your character. Then there's connection, so more transparent stories, more, and you probably see me putting up before and after photos. It's just sometimes I do it a few times a year to re-engage the audience, to show them that, hey, look, you can change your life. You can be a loser. You can stuff everything up and turn everything around. And people like stories. People like everyone's origin story. Like, if you don't bring your origin story, I feel like the connection is weakened, and people might see the successful you, but not know that you're relatable. So I wanted to really be relatable. So there's character, connection, credibility. Credibility equals putting up content that shows you know what you're talking about. So if there's a problem in the marketplace for the avatar or the niche that you're in, and you express and break that down, the messaging. That's why I actually have scheduled posts now. But I worked on my content for a long time, and I'm like, okay, I have to fit each one of these. And some of them you'll see a mixture of connection. Some of them you see a mixture of credibility. Like, we know what we're talking about. Character, and then there's conversion. Okay, that's sharing a common problem and saying, if you want X, Y, Z, comment this or whatever it may be. And then you connect with people privately. It's always about private connection though. Sometimes people think their content's going to do all the work. No, you got to do the heavy lifting in the back now.
Cool.
But
amazing.
the content actually pre-sells them. Right?
Before you make a business with them.
Yeah, because now they trust you more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The credibility and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Wow, that's amazing, bro. For people now who is ready to make a videos. So, bro, you're very confident. I've seen your content even last night as well. Like, you were like amazing, giving examples even in the contents. That is amazing. Next level. So, for the newbies who are about to starting to create a contents for their services, what are the basic tips or ideas that you wanted to give it to them, bro?
We'll find out what you want to talk about. Are they in the business, these people?
Let's say marketers, bro.
They're marketers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just find out what you're marketing, and just you know what we have these days, bro. That is just a massive game changer. We've got AI. We really have AI, and I'm a big believer in. You can't rely on AI for everything. You've got to direct its thinking. You have to direct its thinking. But that's the point. You have to direct its thinking. Many people won't do that. And I told my wife recently, I said, we've got ChatGPT. We've got all this AI now. I said,
How are you using AI? Just for the
so
script?
much.
For the script?
I use it for, well, I treat it like an employee. And your employee is not remember, it's going to always bring you 50%, 70%, 60%. So I just do it for speed, right? So it might give me a bunch of stuff, but I always have to change it. I always have to adjust it. But I get the raw material in massive speeds. So what I would do if I'm starting out from scratch, I would write down a list of who's my avatar, you know, my target market. What's the end result? And just come up with those 4 things: character, connection, credibility, and conversion. Post that lineup with each one of them. You can't be selling conversion all the time, because people are going to be like, who's this annoying guy? They're always trying to, you know, convert every single day. You can't do that. You got to come up with stories. Like for me, I put family photos or family stuff in between all that. It's like, it's a real person. So make a plan, write down your avatar, write down all those things, write down, okay, I want something to connect, to show my connection point, transparency. One's character, to show that, and character also means standing against something sometimes. You know what I can't stand? Boom, all of a sudden you got attention on a reel. You know what I completely hate? It's like, what do you hate? You know what I mean? You capture people's attention to come up with a good hook. And who can give you hooks? My goodness, ChatGPT can give you hooks. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay, this is my avatar. This is who I'm trying to reach. Don't make a whole script for me. Just give me examples of 4 dot points. Boom, 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 boom. And then after some time, you won't need it to come up with the ideas. But if you want a head start, you've got intelligence on your end now. We can get into the technical things. You can get into, but I believe if they do that and they have the assistance of AI, they'll be able to have no excuse, because you've got the idea. You can get the whole thing written out, which I don't like, because I like to flow. But if you get 4 dot points, talk about this, then talk about this, and end it like this.
At least the main topics points, You
can go back to that, you know. And then guess what? Get in front of a camera, talk, and you're gonna be embarrassed. You're gonna be like, no, not this one. You're gonna cancel it. I've done that many times. You know, talking, and I'm like, what the heck was I just talking about? Delete that one. What am I talking about? You know what I mean? Sometimes I go through and I'll lose my train of thought. I'm like, because it's in front of a camera. It takes some practice. So I would do that. I would get the framework, put it in AI, get in front of a camera, good lighting, and just start recording. Get something from Amazon, like a stand-up thing. Just start recording.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Thank you very much. Bro, on the same side now, you have just mentioned, you have just come down to your family part as well. Bro, you're father of 6. Am I correct? Bro, every month we have to update that number.
I remember we had 1 or 2 back then. In those
oh my God. You had 2 last time when I met you at that time. And then you got a daughter. Angelique was pregnant. I still remember. Bro, man, what's your secret, bro?
We love big families. We love a big family. And we stopped at 4. We have a daughter who's not many people know this actually. She's got a disability.
Oh, okay.
Right. So she's not many people know this, but that changed her life.
Sorry to hear that.
No, that's okay. Actually, when we found out what it was, we realized we were really blessed, because God doesn't give you something that is not to help ground you or help you in our belief to to maintain our faith. You know what I mean? So the first thing I said when it's a genetic disorder. So the first time I heard what it was, it took us about a year, bro. It was so intense. We were taken into oxygen therapy. I'm not sure if you've heard of that.
No.
Tony Robbins does it as well. It just puts oxygen into your system, into your bloodstream, and that activates your body. Actually, you might want to look into it for your own health benefits. We did that. We did tests. We did so many things. And then we did a genetic test, and it turned out to be she was 1 out of 12 in the whole world that had it. And I looked at my wife after so much time of trying to figure out what it was, and that was a relief for us. We said, you know what? Thank God, we're blessed. God chose us to look after her. So we were stopping at that time. Then we had a surprise 5th.
Oh.
And then from the surprise 5th, we said, you know what? Maybe we're going to go again.
Surprise 4th.
No, 4th was the girl.
Oh, 4th.
Yeah, the 5th was a boy now.
Oh, okay, all right.
And we just can't see our life without the 5th and 6th.
Okay.
And people think it's hard to have 2 and 3, and I agree.
Exactly.
Guess what?
They stop by 2.
But you know what though? It ends up becoming as hard. Does that make sense? Like it's not. It doesn't make your life impossible.
Yeah.
You always figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, we get a bit of help here and there.
Yeah.
But not that much. They're homeschooled, and my wife is just an absolute machine. In fact, it comes down to motivation as well, bro.
Yeah, true.
You know, my wife is extremely motivated.
Bro, I think
so
I
am
have to call you and your wife one day just to talk about parenting podcast. Man, seriously, man, like, you know, a father of 6, you got 6 kids, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, managing them, I think it might be an eye opener for so many parents out there, bro.
You gotta
Like,
run
how
it
you
like a
gonna manage
company.
your time?
You actually have to run it like a company.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
bro. Of course, it's a techniques, isn't it?
Yeah, you gotta run it like a company.
Because you got 24 hours. You gotta-
Routines, systems. If they get sick, certain systems. If this happens, they come in from a certain window or door to go into the shower.
Yeah.
It's all systems.
Yeah.
But
I
you're
think
busy.
you need to create a content about that as well, bro. It will go viral, bro. People are having tough time just to manage one.
I was telling my wife, I said, you know what, you could, because she makes her own medicine, she makes her own foods.
Wow.
Everything we
She's a
eat from
lovely
home.
girl, man.
She's changed our life totally. All the breads that we eat at home made from scratch. Now we've got our own chickens now that lay eggs. We're gonna get a farm as well. We're gonna do all that stuff from scratch. I'm so impressed with what she does at home. She has our motivation,
Yeah.
but now at home, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So
because I believe, like, you know, being a mother, that's you need a different kind of dedication and commitment.
she's
as
got
well.
it, man. She's got it.
But
And
anyways, you're a
people
very
come-
lucky husband, bro.
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. I mean, all her family go to her. Hey, I need this. What do I do? My hair's falling out. What do I do? You need to take this, take that.
Wow.
So yeah, maybe she should do a coaching program in the future.
Exactly, definitely. But anyways, bro, we don't want to go deep details in your parenting now, bro. Now, as an entrepreneur, right, and you got that ambitions, right? You don't want to settle for average, right? Despite of having a lot of family commitments, right? How do you manage time for yourself, bro? For your mental peace, for your growth, for your business? How do you
Yeah.
manage that?
Good question, because I don't know if you ever get enough of that mental alone time piece. I have a bike that I go on. Right now, I haven't gone on for a while because I'm just so busy building the programs that I'm doing now. Part of my mental peace comes from actually working as well. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes it's more chaotic with the kids.
Yeah.
And when I go into my own zone and doing what I love allows me to maintain that energy. So that's part of it. Part of it is also the bike. And weekends I take off. I used to never take off weekends, as we were taught back in the days. I don't take off weekends. So Saturday I take off from work, but I spend it with the family. Spend it with the family there. Sometimes I might do a little bit here and there if I need to on Saturdays. Sunday's completely disconnection day. So I build things with the kids. We make things, for example, the chicken house that we just did that together. I'm building other things for the animals in the backyard. I like building things. That, you know, that therapy time. That's therapy.
Wow.
Thinking time. I used to go for walks outside. I want to go back to that actually. Just go for a walk and just be mindful and talk to myself. You know, I talk to myself a lot. Problem solving a lot. Whether it's in the shower, whether you're, you know, whatever it is. I would like more alone time, to be honest. But I just feel bad for leaving all on my wife, you know. But at some point, we'll have a bit more, you know.
Yeah.
Right now, it's more of the grind phase. But that's just a couple of things that I do to stay maintained. I don't work 7 days because I realize that actually drains you more and you can burn out a lot quicker.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool. No
And
problem.
you need to spend quality time with your loved ones.
Exactly, bro. But huge respect to you. Honestly, big fan, bro. However you're managing a life, I know behind the screen it looks tough, but still you're showing out there, putting a smile on your face, putting that energy, like, you know, and still doing it, bro. Huge respect, man.
Thank
and
you,
I wish
bro.
you all the very best too, bro.
I appreciate it. Likewise, bro.
Keep inspiring us, man.
Likewise. Thank you, bro. And as I was explaining, I'm like, that does sound tough. What are we doing?
That is tough,
but
bro.
it forces you, brother, to become better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just, sometimes I like to put myself into situations, and I'm sure that this is good advice for anyone. To put yourself in Jim Rohn says it, don't join a slow crowd. Join a crowd that's tough. And you got to put yourself in tough situations. It forces growth. Forces it. If you can't, if you need to force some growth, put yourself in a position where you need to like level up.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Okay, thank you.
I'm not saying to have 10 kids.
Yeah.
It's up to you,
I hope
bro.
that's legal,
It's up
bro.
to you.
That's legal.
He's gonna go now and have 10 kids, 20 kids, bro.
I wish I could, bro. But anyways, bro, is 7 coming soon or?
Well, I did buy a bus, 12-seater
Yeah,
bus.
exactly. I saw a picture. I saw a picture, bro.
Let's
You
see.
did.
Let's
Amazing.
see.
Now, anyways, bro, we're almost at the end of the podcast. I'll just ask a few short questions. If you can answer shortly, that'd be great as
Cool.
well. About your thoughts.
Sure.
Right. Bro, according to you, what is wealth?
Wealth is lifestyle for me personally. But it's also having, obviously, it's not just, it's
Yeah.
money and time freedom.
100%, bro. We just need your thoughts, right? Of course. What is success according to you?
Living the way that you dreamt of living, or at least pursuing it and it becoming more realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could be, you could be on stage 7, but you're waiting for stage 10. 10 doesn't mean you're successful. If you're pursuing that path, you are actually on the path of success.
Amazing, amazing definition, bro. Bro, as an entrepreneur, company branding or personal branding?
Personal branding.
Why?
Always, because you can change companies in 3 years. A lot of personal branding experts, you'll hear the same thing as well. Brand yourself. And people are more connected to a brand. Like Kim Kardashian, I'm not supporting. I don't even know what her brands are. There's some people that you don't even know what their brands are. Gary Vee. Media, something media, I don't even know.
Yeah, we didn't even know.
I don't even know.
Warren Buffett, we didn't even know.
Tony Robbins, he's probably got a few companies. I don't know any of them. It's the person, you know. Brand yourself.
Yeah.
Get really good at branding. It might seem hard in the beginning, but once you crack the code, we keep doing that, and any business you start will be easier.
Amazing, bro. Better personal development activity, books or podcast?
Oh, depends on learning style, man.
Yeah.
It depends on learning style.
According to you,
the
bro.
thing, it depends where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes, like for more just casual listening, doing the dishes and listening to something, podcasts, right?
Yeah,
If,
multitasking.
if I'm okay with deep thinking, because with books, they're written with complete thought.
Yeah.
Like there's no rambling. They actually just chosen those words. Books for that case, like fact after fact, I'd go with the books, taking notes, highlighting, things like that, books. But when it comes to like the deeper discussions and the laughing and all that, and podcasts. But you still learn a lot. Entertaining though.
Amazing, bro. Thank you. What do you want to be remembered as? The best husband or the best father?
Oh wow, wow.
Is that tough, bro?
Oh wow, the bro. You know, me and my wife both agree that our kids come before both of us.
Okay. Amazing,
You know,
bro. You
so-
had that talk.
But we also understand that us being 100% equals them having the best upbringing as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta have both. But kids, you put your life on the line straight away for your kids
100%.
and your spouse.
Yeah.
But your kids are always your kids, and your spouse, you have to be 100% with them for the kids to have the best mental health.
Amazing, bro. You love coaching business or network marketing more?
Do I love coaching business?
Coaching.
Personally, I love owning. I love, it's crossed my mind a couple of times. Do I start a network marketing business in the future? We discussed this in the room before. I believe in the model. I definitely believe in the model. But having a coaching business for me is what I love doing. I chose this.
Amazing. Define leadership, bro.
Leadership by example. Doing what you... So if you tell people to go to war, you better have been through the war too, even in the past at least.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to do something when you haven't shown that it's possible as well. Like we used to lead in the past. We used to go out there and fill up the room. We used to go out there and do all these things and then say, hey, let's go and do it. Not go. The boss era is gone.
Yeah.
And people want someone to trust and someone that loves their people, not bosses on their people, elevating people around them,
Yeah.
going above and beyond.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, bro. I think you have wrapped up all my questions, all my queries, bro. Thank you so much.
Bro, absolute
And you have
pleasure,
done amazing, bro.
Oh, thanks for having
Before
me,
we
man.
leave, bro, I want you to talk with your audience, your followers, your last message, bro.
Don't
Because
give
I'm pretty
up.
sure they have
I
seen
mean-
you in the screen being so real after a very long time, right? So this
Yeah.
is your moment, bro.
I mean, if it's people that know me and people that are getting to know me, look, just follow your dream. Yeah, figure out what that dream is, and then just make a plan for that dream. Because you can have a dream, but without a plan, it's just a wish. You probably heard that quote before. You got to break it down. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you climb a building? I mean, I was just going through here. In this building, there's like a fire stairs. Well, if you keep climbing the stairs, you're going to end up at the top of the building, one step at a time. People look to the top of the mountain, they're like, oh, it's too high. One day, don't do the one day, just start climbing. And guess what? As you climb the mountain, you're going to see that some trails haven't been made, and you got to make them yourself. You got to have enough guts. You're going to feel imposter syndrome. You're going to have limiting beliefs sometimes. You got to just find your next book, find your next podcast like this, this podcast here. Find your next coach, find your next mentor, and just don't give up. You got to be, I would say resilience is more important than anything else. Being able to get knocked down and get back up. You know, we thought we're going to be successful in some things, and those things didn't become a reality. So we ended up pivoting. You become successful in that or not, doesn't matter. You keep going. What is the thing that keeps you going? It's resilience and mental toughness. You got to be tough. Does that mean you're going to always have positivity and everything's going well? You got to get beaten down badly sometimes, but you just getting back up is the resilience. So I hope that helps. I love seeing people successful. I love seeing Vicky successful, man. When he invited me here, I'm like, of course, man. I've been watching you. You know, I want to hand that back to you, bro, because, you know, you've been doing really well. And we were talking in his office before, and the first thing I said was, I've seen you consistent. He stayed consistent all the way through. And you just do that long enough, like popcorn in the microwave for 2-3 minutes, it's going to start popping. In the first minute, you're like, why is another popping? Eventually, it's going to pop. So thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much, bro. And the very last question, bro. It was an amazing pleasure to have you, honestly, right? And how do you feel to be part of the Maven Podcast, bro? I think this is your first visual podcast.
Yeah, we've done Zoom
Was it
before,
different
we've
from
done
Zoom?
audio. Yeah, I love chilling with people, man. I love getting in front of people, just talking. And I enjoyed it, man. And I think you've got a great setup. All the lights are on me right now. I've got like a million cameras on me right now. I've got an amazing development guy in the background. So it's been a great experience, man. I really think that you can take this far, bro.
Sure. Thank you so much, bro. We'd love to have you again. Maybe Sinan Abu-Aisheh returns when you become very, very, very again successful.
Awesome,
but anyways, bro, thank you so much. We'll just wrap it up for now.
Awesome.
Thank you for allowing me.
Bang! There we go.
All right, guys, thank you so much once again. So that was Mr. Sinan Abu-Aisheh, my mentor. I take a pride to say that, like, I know this friend who's always very, very genuinely helping other people all the time. So I hope you got some value as well. If you do, please put down comments below. And you can also follow him in his Instagram. All the social media handles are in the description as well. So guys, again, we're putting a lot of effort to bring such powerful contents, positive contents to you. It takes a lot of hard work, sweat, and tears. So if you can just subscribe us, that would be great. We'll also be encouraged to bring more powerful episodes as well in future. So please support us. Thank you very much. This podcast is presented by Maven Consulting Group. Reach out to them if you have any education and visa inquiry. Knowledge partner, Rees International College. They offer many courses such as aged care, commercial cookery, disability, early childhood, and many more. Supported by Capcom Home Loans, Australia's leading home loan specialist. Magic Momo Cafe, a perfect destination in Melbourne for an authentic Nepalese and Newari cuisines. Yatra The Connection, अस्ट्रेलियामा नेपालीहरूको लागि सबैभन्दा भरपर्दो travel company. Manny Films, your photography and videography partner to capture your perfect moment. 25 Hours, the marketing boost you need for your business.